All right, welcome back, guys. It is our second match of the day here at the GSL Team League. It is Jupiter Day, and we've got oGs TL, a combination of oGs and Team Liquid, of course, against Team SCV Life, otherwise known as TSL. And this should be a pretty interesting match. I'm actually really excited to see this. One thing that you'll notice right away as we see our oGs TL players come out is that one of them is going to be wearing a Liquid jersey when he used to be wearing an oGs jersey. That's right, Liquid Hero is here today as well. There he is on the left. Now this player, or this team rather, has a lot of strong individual players, but has yet to find any real success as a team. What do you think about Wolf? What do you think about that?
They've been doing a pretty good job overall, and they're obviously just trying to get excited and get ready here.
Oh yeah, they're getting ready.
They're getting ready. Now, interestingly enough, no foreigners on the team from Liquid, just Hero here today.
Yeah.
Of course, Hulk is traveling right now. He's about to compete in the North American Blizzard Invitational. And I don't know what the story on Genro is. He must have something else going on. He might be traveling as well. But usually we have some foreigners mixed in here. And interestingly, we have Hero today. Now, MC, possibly one of the most popular members of oGs, going to be signing, giving this to a fan.
Signing right over the oGs logo. Happy fan. And if you're in Seoul, Korea, you can come down to the studio and have a chance to be a happy fan as well. Actually, what am I saying? There's no chance. You're just going to be a happy fan.
Yeah, you just are.
It's not like it's something that's left up to chance. You're going to be watching live StarCraft 2 at the highest level. What isn't there to love about that?
There's actually nothing to not love about that.
That's absolutely right, I think.
All right, so yeah, we'll take a look at this. Obviously, the closer here, MC, and some of the key players are Nada, Supernova, and Top. Huck ended up being a key player as well many times, but unfortunately he's not here today. So we've got three awesome Terrans there as key players, and of course MC being the closer. Now, starting today for oGs is actually going to be oGs Vines.
Yeah, and Vines is a Protoss player.
Yes.
He's pretty good. It looks like, as you can see, here's their results so far. oGs has beaten Prime. They they've beaten Prime, and that's it. That's all they've beaten. Talk about that race arrangement there. That's kind of nice. It's kind of even. Not too many Zergs, but it's okay.
Very true. You know, what's interesting about oGs is that they're the oldest StarCraft 2 professional team, basically. They're old generations because they picked players from Broodware. There's a shot of all the players. You'll notice Hero, the second from the right over there, still wearing an oGs jacket, but he was recently announced, actually last night, as joining Team Liquid, so he's now a Liquid member. Obviously, Liquid and oGs have a partnership, so he's still going to stay in the house and train with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, and again, I love seeing this interaction between the foreign scene and the Korean scene. You know, a lot of players being swapped, a lot of agreements and alliances being made, such as the one between oGs and Team Liquid. Very, very cool stuff.
Yeah. You have agreements like Epixo and Foyu. You have Zenith and Nex making ZenX. Prime and World Elite making Prime.we. A lot of different awesome agreements. F United and several different teams making F United, or Fox, I should say.
Yeah, the GSL is getting more global every month.
Yep.
Glad you guys could join us for it. Here's the TSL team coming out here. Sounds like they want to like race cars or something to this music.
The music's actually pretty awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Fast and Furious.
Look at those team jeans. Those are interesting.
Yeah, well, you know, we mentioned this before. There's been a lot of rain and flooding in Seoul recently, so it's good to not get the jeans wet.
They're all wearing smiley faces. Songho, man, he is laying down the law.
He's like, we're going to confuse people and make them think we're sponsored by Walmart, but we're not.
Oh no, man, without Mike, even if I spoke fluent Korean, I wouldn't be able to know what he was saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Songho's when we say Songho, obviously we mean TSL Killer. Just awesome guy to hang out with. Really funny guy. Talk to him on Skype sometimes. Giving that lucky fan the Manor Banner. That's what we like to call it.
I like that.
Yeah. So TSL, I mean, you're kind of wondering about the smiley face buttons. Could be, you know, kind of representative of their attitude. I mean, I love these guys. I'm just going to say it. This is one of my favorite teams. They've been through a hard time. They've come through it. They still have a really, really solid team.
They're #1 right now in the Team League as well.
And every time I see that picture of Killer, I laugh. So, TSL Killer It looks like either he's being thrown out of a moving car or he's about to like jump on someone. I don't know, one of the two.
I love that picture.
As you can see, their key players, JYP added to the list there, a very strong Protoss player as well. And TSL, really the house of Terran and Protoss. You've got really strong Terrans like Clyde and Alive. Alive, of course, a beast in the team league. And then strong Protoss players like Killer and JYP. They have also beaten Prime. Everybody's beaten Prime in this.
Prime not doing very well this season.
No, not exactly. Although Prime did get their first team league win ever against Slayers last week, so they have that at least. Now, only one Zerg on TSL. Every time I see Killer, why do you have to post like that? All right, TSL Revival is their only Zerg player, and a very interesting one too. We saw him do a lot of roach drops in Code A a couple seasons ago. Interested to see if we see him play today. TSL Hart, I don't know if we've ever actually seen him play, but I do know, I was talking to Coach Lee the other day, and Hart actually did qualify for the WCG qualifier, the WCG tournament here in Korea, so definitely a strong player apparently as well to get through that. Yeah, just a really solid team.
Yeah, well, here's Coach Lee and oGs the win. Just making sure that everything is understood with the rules here. Now, obviously, TSL has been shrouded recently in a cloud of drama for several different things, including the SC2 Con, players leaving their team, the Puma scandal, which wasn't really a scandal, but
not really.
It became known as one.
It sounds kind of funny if you say Puma scandal, though.
Yeah. Well, when you just look at all these things, TSL has come through all of this.
Yeah.
Still manages to be #1 in GSTL in this division right now, the Jupiter League, and I gotta say I'm impressed by that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. They've got really kind of the most dramatic story of any team right now. I mean, you've all read about it on the forums and stuff like that. You know, how much of it that was posted that's actually true, you know, remains to be seen, but it's dramatic nonetheless. But yeah, either way, Coach Lee, you know, he's a really great guy. He does care a lot about his players, and, you know, he works really hard to make sure that these guys have what they need to succeed, and apparently he's doing well for them because they're sure succeeding in the team league.
That's definitely the case, man. So we'll see how they do here today. Now the starter, we didn't mention it for TSL, is actually going to be JYP, someone who took out Dongri-gu earlier this morning.
Yeah.
In the Code A round of 16. So
he's got to be in a pretty good mood.
Yeah, coming off a win, playing as their starter, got to be a good feeling. And I mean, even agreeing to that in the first place when you know you have a match that day, because these are decided far in advance who the starter is going to be, and he knows he has that match that day, still agrees to it, feels comfortable, even knowing that he might have lost. That means he's really confident with starting.
Well, JYP is one of those players where I heard about him on TSL. This is going back like 4 or 5 months now, but and then you started seeing all these replays of him crop up online. There's tons of replays of this guy, and he's playing like all the events he can get to. So it just seems to me like a really hard-working Protoss player, and you know his hard work is starting to pay off. He's in Code A. He's doing well. He's done well in several other events, and yeah, now here he is starting out in the team league. And so we're starting it with a PvP, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is very interesting. His opponent is Vines. Vines, someone you guys haven't seen much of, most likely. He plays in a lot of foreign tournaments, like the FX Open events, for example. I've seen him play there a lot. He may play in the Korean IC Cup Weekly. I don't actually know if he played in that one or not. I felt like I heard he did. Either way, he plays in a lot of foreign tournaments. He plays in TL Opens, for example. But he did play back in like Open Season number 2. And I think Open Season number 3 of the GSL way back when I remember the announcer said his name was said oGs Venus because they didn't know his name was Vines and not Venus. I remember that. It's like forever ago, man. I know this stuff.
I don't even remember that. I've actually seen a couple of this guy's practice games, and you know I don't know if he's quite strong enough to take out JYP. I'll say it right away, and we've been surprised already a whole bunch today, but I think this guy is definitely the underdog in this matchup.
I think so too. JYP's PvP is really good. His Blink Stalker control is phenomenal. He's one of those guys, you'll see him do a build like we saw Genius do just earlier tonight with Blink Stalkers, and you see his control. I think that's probably what we're going to see. Blink Stalker is really the future of PvP. The map that we're going to start with is going to be Metalopolis.
An interesting map for Protoss versus Protoss, too.
Yeah. There's also all sorts of weird capabilities on this map, like cannon rushing, for example, on this map.
Dude,
is the map that you will see cannon rushing on in pro games.
We haven't seen a cannon rush for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. We used to see those all the time.
Yeah, we did. You know, in the earlier seasons, we actually did see quite a few cannon rushes and cheeses and things like that, and largely that's gone away, which is kind of nice. I mean, it's always going to be there. It's always a threat, but I don't know. It's kind of cool to see once in a while. But here's JYP, also a Protoss player. He is 2-2 right now. Yep. And yeah, looks like it was Season 1 that he was in before. Oh wait, GSTL Season 1.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I was talking about Vines earlier. Yep.
I'm like thinking about the smiley face too much.
Yeah, it reminds me of Watchmen, the smiley face there.
I'm going to have to ask him about that.
The Watchmen is, in my opinion, quite a good film and graphic novel.
Yeah, it's good. You know, I think it's hard to be on TSL and be a bad Protoss player. I mean, you've got Killer there. Up until recently, you had Trickster. So, a lot of good Protoss players to learn from. JYP's been coming up, learning from the best. But is it going to be enough to get his team the first win here in the GSTL?
Man, Vines looks ready, dude. He has been tapping that keyboard. He's been messing around with his mouse. He looks extremely ready.
Yeah.
He is like revving his engine right now, man.
That's right. The pod race is about to begin.
Love the pod racing scene.
I know. You and I are like the only people on Earth that love the pod racing scene. I don't know. I could watch a whole movie of pod racing.
I could too.
Everyone's gonna like hate us for saying that, but I like pod racing. It's futuristic chariot racing, man. It's pretty cool. But enough about that. We're gonna move into our first game. It's the GSL Team League with Doa and Wolf, and that guy,
and OGS and TSL.
Just like make our own teams, and then it will just be the Team League with Doa and Wolf. All right, so from the team, OGS at the top of the map it is.
oGs Venus.
Or Vines.
See, they still do it, man.
I guess so.
Someone told me it was actually confirmed that it was Vines, but they're still calling him Venus. I guess we should just stick with Vines.
I'm gonna stick with Vines.
Yeah.
Down here at the bottom, player. A little bit easier to pronounce because it's only 3 letters. It is.
JYP.
You squeezed that intro out, man.
I know. I have to turn into like the Micro Machines guy.
You actually just like made orange juice out of that intro.
Yes. Well, you know, when life gives you fast intros, you make orange juice. It's obvious. My mother always used to tell me. Those guys are living in Korea here. Came down to the studio.
Yeah, just
good foreign fans there.
Yeah, we met those guys just before. They're very friendly.
Yep.
Very nice.
That's right. So are we. You know, I saw the person who drew that, you know, that cheerful that had like the pile of dead casters that Tasteless and Artosis were standing on.
I heard about
saw
that.
her here. Your name was on it. Mine wasn't. I like survived. I'm the only caster that lived.
Who wrote that?
I don't know, but she's here somewhere. I saw her like glaring at you. You better watch your back, man.
Oh man.
I don't know. I survived that cheerful. Got like a cross-shaped scar on my forehead, or like a lightning-shaped scar. They call me the caster that lived. How about those Harry Potter movies, man? They're pretty good. I like them.
I thought they were pretty good too.
Although Snape's gotten like a little bit chubby, hasn't he?
Yeah. Has anyone else noticed that the actor who played Snape got a little chubby? That really affected how I looked at him in the final films.
See, I disagree because I think it fits his character perfectly. He's got so much to worry about. His role in that whole drama, you know, I mean, he's got a lot to worry about. So naturally, he's eating a lot of comfort food, putting on a couple pounds. He's got to like pretend he's like a bad guy, but you know.
The actor is Alan Rickman, I believe, and
yeah,
I really respect that guy. And I'm not trying to say like he's fat now, but I was like, oh man, you just changed my look of Snape.
Alan Rickman watches the GSL, you know.
Alan Rickman probably does watch the GSL. I don't want to offend him. He did a great job. All right, Alan, if you're watching, you did a great job, especially in part 2. You did a damn good job actually in that.
I'm convinced it was method acting. It was for the character. All right, so both of these guys, 1 gas, 1 gateway, 1 cybernetics core, a couple pylons, a couple probes.
Yeah, this is cross positions Metalopolis. This game, not quite as important as the last PvP we just cast.
Yeah. Well,
but still important nonetheless. Both these guys taking second gases. We're at cross positions on Metalopolis. Now you guys are going to find out, I think, pretty soon what Korean PvP is like. It's not like foreign PvP with Colossi. They don't make Colossi in Korea.
Never heard of
them. They make Blinkstalkers and Immortals, and that's it.
That's right. Sometimes, if you're lucky. Other times, they just make a lot of gateways, or precisely 4. There's 2 gateways. There's a second gas now for Vines, so it's not gonna do. It looks like both players going for very similar openings. The OGSTL Protoss players lately have been doing the build where you get the Robo first, get the Observer, and then go into Blink from there.
Yeah.
Probably the safest.
That's considered the safest build. What happens if you go the Blink path first is that if your opponent goes DTs, you don't have detection, and he holds off a little bit longer, then you lose. So it's safer to get that out. You get the Robo first, you get Immortals to hold his Blink push. Then you get your own Blink so you can counterattack, because if you don't get your own Blink, then he's just always going to be able to outmaneuver you if he has good mechanics. And Korean players, none of them have bad mechanics.
I've heard of them having pretty good mechanics, and that is actually true. The other thing with the Observer, too, is you can warp in on the high ground a lot earlier. If you just said that, I'm going to feel like an idiot. But
no, I didn't say that. That's true. That's another thing that the Observer grants you. Faster Robo going up here for JYP. Vines starting his Twilight Council, so we're going to see these builds diverge here.
Builds diverging?
Yeah.
Right before our eyes, Wolf.
Right before our eyes, man. Right before your eyes at the GSL. Get your friends watching the GSL. Post about on Twitter. Hashtag GSL. Tell all your friends.
That's right. Because the Team League is awesome, man.
It is awesome.
It's my favorite thing. So, surprisingly enough, we just talked about the OGS players, getting that Robo first, and the OGS player didn't, and the TSL player did. So,
Immortal first.
All right.
Because he knows that he's not going to, if there are Dark Templar coming, they're going to be out after the first Immortal is out, so he's just going to make that Immortal just to be safe, which is a good choice, given that, guess what Vines is doing? He's going Blink Stalkers right off the bat, so he has to get that Immortal out. It's the safest choice to make the Immortal first in this case. When you have the Robo out this fast, you know the timing. Right now, for example, Blink is about a third of the way down. The Dark Shrine takes way longer than Blink, so he's going to have the Immortal out. You can make an Observer now if he wants to. That's exactly what he's doing, playing so safe.
Yeah, it's a really good choice. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier about that the players know the first player that each team is sending out, so they've had time to kind of get ready for it. Probably watched a lot of VODs seeing, oh yeah, hey, OGSTL. Those guys, we'll see that in a second. Those guys actually do a lot of Blink Stalker stuff, so we're going to prepare for that. But Wolf's jaw just hit the floor, because down at the 6 o'clock base, there's actually a robotics bay going up, down.
This is
down
actually...
Nope, other way, down. Well, it's down by the mineral line, so there will be Colossus actually coming out for JYP.
Yeah, JYP is actually signing his life away right now, because when you go Colossus, you can't go back. Okay, so when you go Colossi, what you're saying is you are just about to find out, because you went Robo, you went Immortal before your Observer, so the Observer is just going to see this expansion. Now, guess what? He signed his life away. Right now he's like, oh my god, I just signed my life away. I have to do a timing attack with my Colossi or I won't win. So now he has to do a Colossus timing attack. He can't just make a Nexus and then be okay. I mean, he can, but he's got Blink Stalkers to attend to. It's going to be very difficult. Nexus has been up for a long time. He's seen that. The probes have been mining for a while. Gotten about 800 minerals total from that Nexus by now.
Yeah, and if that Nexus is left for much longer, we're going to see the supply for Vines just shoot way up. Looks like Vines is going to try to put a little bit of pressure on, though.
Yeah, it looks like it, and at the same time, JYP wants to move out here. Now remember, Vines does have Blink, so he can engage and then Blink back. Force fields go down, but that doesn't matter when Blink is out.
Yep. Yeah, nice job drawing some force fields. It's always pretty helpful to get them to spend the energy that they wouldn't have normally needed to spend either, or anyway.
Well, JYP is going to move out with that first Colossus. Looks like he wants to make that timing attack happen right now. So he does have 2 Immortals. It's going to be quite good against the Blink. But there are just so many Stalkers here. There's going to be a lot of blinking. There aren't a lot of Zealots, though, and this attack could work. This is all going to come down to this timing attack. This is not an all-in. This is just a timing attack. He can go home, but he has to at least kill the Nexus here.
All right, so here we go.
That was a sick blink.
Yeah,
dodged so many Stalker fires.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, you can actually dodge projectiles in StarCraft 2 if you're fast enough.
Oh man, he is letting Vines get so much time here. He's going to blink to the side and target the Colossus if he can, but it's very risky. It's a huge commitment to blink forward in this case.
Well, it's really tough to attack into this area too as the aggressor, and here he goes. He's going to go for it anyway. Running back right away, trying to get the Stalkers to clump up a little bit, get a little bit less of a concave. Colossus is in the back, so that's going to survive a little bit longer. Immortals are getting focused down by OGS Vines.
Nice blink back, blinks back at the perfect moment, but he lost so many Stalkers.
Yeah.
I think that JYP is going to win this one.
I think he is. All those Zealots are going to be so hard to deal with. The Nexus is going to get taken down very, very quickly.
Immortal gets targeted from the high ground. Next to the ramp, he loses another Immortal. but the Nexus will absolutely go down, and no matter if Blink Micro is going to be enough, I don't think, to get him out of this one. He's going to have to maybe go for a base race. He's sending these Stalkers away. He has a forward pylon, and we are going to have somewhat of a base trade, but I think that this game is most likely going to go into JYP's favor very quickly.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea to go for that base race. I mean, there's nothing absolutely wrong with it at all, but I just think JYP's got such a lead in this race that he's going to lap him.
Here's why you guys are going to find out that Blink Stalkers are the new thing. Watch how close this game will become. It's going to become a lot closer than you think as time goes on here.
All right, I'm going to watch, Wolf.
A lot of probes going down. Now, the army of JYP is stronger than the army of his opponent, but if he kills all these probes, all there is one pylon for JYP at the north base. If he kills everything else in the south, he's got a much more mobile army. He's going to kill all these probes. That means no other structures. He doesn't even have enough resources to make any more structures. Now he's got a mobile army, and his opponent does not. Kills the last probe. Going to kill his pylon as well. If he gets his pylon, that's huge. That means there's no more structures. Oh no, he rebuilt a Nexus.
Whoa, that was pretty close.
He rebuilt the Nexus, and now things aren't going to be as close as I thought they might be.
It's actually 2 probes to 2 probes. Never mind, the last probe for JYP is somewhere on the map right now. Probably up at that top base.
Well, right now, I'll give you guys some unit counts. 15 Stalkers and 15 Stalkers.
Ooh.
That's it, though. 2 probes and 15 Stalkers. 4 Vines, but remember, they have Blink. They're much more mobile. They can kill structures faster. They can avoid structures. But the problem is he ever going to be able to engage that Nexus?
7 Zealots for JYP as well, so it's going to make it very, 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 very difficult.
Oh, he canceled the Nexus.
Yeah, he did.
He canceled it.
But he doesn't have the money for canceling it.
This is going to get really close here.
Yeah, actually it is. Wow, this is actually getting really exciting. I'm not sure where JYP's money went. His Nexus was canceled, and another Nexus being built by oGs Vines down to the third base of JYP. Vines might actually be able to take this.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm telling you. This game gets really close. He's going to take down the Colossus, maybe. Needs to blink back. Oh, mistake on one of those Stalkers.
Right.
That Stalker's not making it home tonight.
I knew as soon as I said that. But okay, so there's 1 probe up there for Vines.
Now,
and there's also the pylon up at the gold that's getting taken out.
Yeah, so the Nexus here is going to reveal, unfortunately, Vines, but he's got enough money to make make structures across the map. Now, he's going to want to make structures spread out. He's only got 190 minerals left. That's going to be enough for 2. He's going to be enough for 2 assimilators, okay? So he's going to make 2 assimilators. He's going to make them in strategic locations so that JYP has to go across the map. Now, when he does, he's going to try to take the advantage and go for those buildings. Remember, buildings are revealed, so even if they're on the high ground, he can target them. He has vision of everything.
Yeah. And this is going to end up actually being really close. JYP is going for that last building, but...
Oh, is he going to get the Colossus? I think he will.
That would be absolutely huge, but how many Stalkers is he going to lose? Oh, blinking back, not losing a single Stalker. That was close. And JYP, man, if he can just chase down this army, he can end the game right there.
Yeah, it's just going to be so difficult to do so. This Observer, though, that Observer is huge. That Observer is going to make him able to keep track of the army always.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really smart. He split his Zealots and the rest of his units into 2 groups. The Zealot army is going for the structures. The rest of the units are just chasing the army.
And there's just no way at all that oGs Vines can defend against
Well, don't say it. It's not so yet, man. He's got 1 more assimilator over at 9 o'clock. These Stalkers are going to try to take down JYP's buildings, and he may be able to do it because this is it. Doa, this is it. These gateways and these 2 assimilators and that robotic support bay are it.
Wow.
And he's got a pylon at the 9 o'clock, or I said assimilator earlier, he didn't make it yet, but he has. Yeah. This actually could work.
Wow, oh, he's blinking away, though.
I'm not sure why he's blinking away.
Why
this is his only chance.
He could win the game right now.
This was his only chance to win, and he's blinking away. He just blinked his chances of victory away. That was it. Look what Legend is showing you guys.
I know.
That's
he just sat there and killed the buildings. He shouldn't have listened to me. All right, he's going to try to kill these Stalkers, try to whittle down the army.
Oh, I'm so disappointed, man.
He's going to try to fight the army.
GG. What? Oh, man.
Whoa, if he ever watches the VODs from this game, he's going to kick himself. The oGs TL bench is just sitting there right now. They do not look happy. It's not like a relaxing sitting there.
Well, I told you, man, that game's going to become a lot closer than you think.
Yeah, well, I didn't see the thing on the left side of the minimap. So, yeah. But Vines, I should have won that game.
He should have won, or at least it should have been a lot closer. It would have been extremely close. The Stalkers would have targeted all the structures down of JYP. And he knew.
JYP's units
he knew they were all there, man. I don't know what's going on. Why didn't he do it?
The JYP's units, they were so out of position. He could have just sat there, killed it. There would have been no way he could have gotten back in time, I think.
But that's the reason why people don't make Colossi. Because Blink Stalkers are better. You got to get your own Blink. If you don't have your own Blink and you move out, things go wrong.
Lesson learned.
A lot of lessons learned there.
Yeah.
Man,
so
my adrenaline is actually like shooting right now. I'm like, this game that was so close, just he threw it away. I'm like, oh, what's going on?
It has not been a boring day at the GSL team
No,
league.
it
That's
has
for
not.
sure.
I've been here. I've actually been here casting now for almost about 9 hours. Been here about 9 hours for work. That is a lot, but it's been exciting, man. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Wow. So TSL takes the early lead, and that game,
man. We're going to see the next map is Antigua Shipyards.
Oh, that's cool.
It's one of our newer maps.
And interestingly enough, someone from OGS actually picked it. So I wonder who it was and why. Who do you think?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's probably not a Zerg.
Yeah.
So I would say Zergs have been complaining about this map quite a bit.
Yeah, it's probably not a Zerg.
It could be a Zerg trying to get rid of it so that other Zergs could come out later, but that's very unlikely.
Maybe a Terran? Maybe,
I think we're going to see a Terran.
Maybe Nada?
Maybe Nada. Nada has been known to come out quite early in the past.
We're going to find out right now who's it going to be. OGS Team Liquid. Could be Supernova.
MC.
Oh, MC. Opening with the closer almost.
I open with the close.
You know, and I got to say, though, I know everybody's going crazy right now, but MC has not had a lot of luck in GST.
That's not it.
Oh, that's not MC.
That was a fake out.
What?
Oh, man.
MC. Not that we're sad to see this guy, whoever he is, but MC, the wind looks all bashful. He's like, oh, I didn't.
That was kind of tricky, man.
It was the trickiest. That was an amazing magic trick.
This is the STC, guys. Remember the STC? The STC is a very strong and talented player. Just recently got out of the military. Remember, Koreans, a lot of you guys don't know this, and I should probably explain it. Koreans have to do military service. It's required. It's mandatory. So that's why a lot of these players go in at different times. You can do it, as far as they know, any time before you're 30. That's what I've been told, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's any time before you're 30, you have to do 2 years of service. So the SEC did that, got out of the military. He was a great Brood War player, and now coming back to play StarCraft 2 extremely well. He's shown nothing but awesomeness so far.
Well, he picked Antigua Shipyards. That's pretty awesome in my book to pick a new map like that nobody's had a lot of experience on. I don't know. It's an interesting map. If you take the middle, it's really, really big. Like, the middle in this map is so much more important than a middle in a lot of other maps, especially if you spawn, like, you know, top versus bottom. If it's cross positions, yeah, it's important, but it's a lot more easy to exploit it if you spawn in those closer positions. So we're going to have to see, you know, how the spawns go for that. I actually played, I don't normally talk about my own games, but I played a 47-minute TVT on that map this morning, and I lost. But it was fun.
Does that affect how you look at this map now?
No, not at all. Actually, I really enjoy this map. This is my favorite map out of the new maps.
Me too.
And I actually really enjoy playing long TVTs anyway. You learn the most in them. So
there's a lot to learn in TVT right now.
So it's actually a lot of fun. I like, it's like, oh, I lost, but at the same time, you're like, oh, that game was so much fun. It's just how I am, Wolf.
Well, that's how
winning
it goes
or losing
sometimes.
doesn't really matter. I just like to play long games.
It's really fun. Yeah. Well, the STC coming out, his best matchup is usually considered TVT. The thing about the STC's style is most commonly he goes for macro games.
Yeah.
He will make a fast command center. He's very, very likely to expand and do something risky. The thing that Unstable and I, another caster I know you guys remember, was out here, and one of the managers of FX Open, he and I always call him the hardest egg to crack because he will always fast expand and hold anything you can throw at him. We're going to have a little coach interview, though, so take a look at that.
지금 저희가 이제 3경기가 남았거든요. 오늘 경기 포함해서. 그렇기 때문에 뭐 지금 플레이오프를 확정짓지는 못했지만 이제 오늘 경기 승리로 가져가고 남은 2경기까지 승리로 가져가면 플레이오프 무난하게 진출할 수 있을 것 같습니다. 일단은 TSL 팀은 테란이 강한 팀인 것 같아요. 아무래도 테란 유저들이 좀 많은 것 같고 그 반면에 이제 저그 유저가 한 선수밖에 없어가지고 오히려 저희는 그쪽 부분을 약간 공략하려고 준비를 좀 했습니다. 오늘 이렇게 TSL과 이렇게 경기를 하게 됐는데요. 두 번째 경기라서 좀 늦게 시작하는 것 같아요. 좀 서로 지치더라도 경기 시작할 때는 서로 화이팅해서 즐거운 경기 했으면 좋겠습니다.
지금 저희가 좀 상위권을 달리고 있는데요. oGs TL 같은 경우에 oGs 팀 자체로도 상당히 강하고 TL 팀도 아주 강합니다. 연합으로 되어 있기 때문에 아주 강한 팀이라고 생각이 들고요. 저뿐만 아니라 선수들도 오늘 게임이 가장 중요한 분수령이라고 생각하고 있습니다. 축구 같은 경우는 11명이 하지만 GSTL 같은 경우에 4명의 선수가 플레이를 하기 때문에 소수 정예인 우리 TSL도 oGsTL과 충분히 싸워서 이길 수 있는 전력이라고 생각하고 있고요. 오늘 꼭 이겨서 1위를 꼭 지키도록 하겠습니다. 예, oGs 팀은 지금 1승 1패 중인데요. 저희에게 패배를 하더라도 워낙 막강한 팀이기 때문에 플레이오프에 진출을 할 것 같아요. 저희 같은 경우에 지금 1승이 꼭 필요하거든요. 저에게 1승을 꼭 헌납해 주시길 바라겠습니다. 그리고 우리 팀이 꼭 열심히 해서 1승을 해서 꼭 3승으로 따라올 수 없게 1위를 질주하겠습니다.
So let us win the match today, and then we'll, do well. That's funny. What also funny? I love that like Nada cheerful that was behind the TSL coach in both of those shots.
Yeah, and there's like MC on the wall behind.
Big luscious
MC
red
on the
lips.
wall. It was like actually just messing with Coach Lee, like putting all this oGs stuff behind him in his interview.
Pretty much. I don't know. I mean, I think TSL is definitely the favorite in this matchup. But like
they're already
Coach
ahead.
Lee said, oGs is very strong too, yeah. But they're already ahead. They're a game up. Yep, have to take down the STC.
Well, we have seen some crazy comebacks even earlier today, so...
Yeah, we've seen some surprising results in the GSTL today. Some pleasantly surprising results, I gotta say. But yeah, we'll have to see if we're seeing more surprises today. I'm gonna stop saying surprises and today for the rest of this moment in the month. All right, so we're gonna get to the game pretty soon. Here they are, oGs STC on the left side and TSL JYP on the right side will be Antigua Shipyard. GSL logo in the middle there.
Yeah, you always notice that. I never noticed that, but it's like really cool.
It like stands out for me. I don't know. It's interesting. That is a thick keyboard that JYP has. Look at that.
I actually think those are... Well, I know that the STC is definitely a QSEN DT35, and the STC is... I mean, JYP's looks like it might be, but I can't tell.
I don't think so. It doesn't have the little things that come up sort of on the side.
You're right. It might be a Black Widow even, I can't tell.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Thick keyboard.
Someone probably knows. Someone should tweet at us about that.
Who knows? Someone knows. The Twitter knows.
The Twitter knows. Who knows who's going to take this game? Will it be the STC, or will JYP further his team's lead? Let's find out here at the GSTL.